Hey, hello all, welcome you all. So today we are starting with FIASM batch. I hope all of you are aware. And this is an introductory or the first class where we will talk about this topology and terminology, like how we need to proceed for FIASM, what is FIASM, why it is required, and all those points will be get discussed. So before talking for the FI advanced web, I need to talk about what is the use for this. And before the use, I need to talk about a term, very general term, which is cyber attacks. So what is cyber attack? We all are aware that currently this is the era of digitalization where every small or bigger organization is moving towards the digitalization either on the app or on the website. Business is involving completely on the computers, right? And when business is evolving, similarly your attacks are also involving a lot. If you talk about, there are different social engineering techniques are used to trick the people into revealing confidential information and performing some action which compromise the security eventually. It is like we are manipulating somebody else. Okay. So what hacker will do? Hacker can send an email. Okay, click here, like the phishing email. They can send the message, the text message on your mobile, or maybe the WhatsApp message. There are, lot of techniques in the social engineering what people used to do, okay, for manipulating the people or trick the people to get their confidential information. There are lot of zero day attacks which come into the picture. What the zero day attack is, maybe you can think like it is a secret weapon. Okay, it is an attack that take the advantage of some kind of vulnerability. What the vulnerability mean? Vulnerability. Vulnerability means some kind of weakness. Weakness of whom? Of the component of the software. So eventually, when you are building up any application, okay, when you are building up any application, there would be front end, your some kind of component. It can be Apache or anything, right? You have the backend, you have the web logics. So there are lot of terms which come into the picture when you are deploying any of the new application, and any kind of weakness for any of the component is vulnerability. And this vulnerability advantage can be taken by some kind of hacker or some kind of organization to exploit the data or to steal the data. So why it is named as zero day attack? Because currently these attacks are not into the market yet. So it is called zero attack because there are 0 days to fix it before it is exploited. So it's not exploited yet, right? Once it will get exploited, there is 0 days till then. So there are lot of attacks which may happen in day-to-day life. Okay, and you have heard lot of attacks, right? If no, probably I will explain you couple of. I will give you couple of the names. But before going for F5, let me talk about the WAF. What is WAF? WAF, you people are aware that WAF is Web Application Firewall, right? It is an essential security solution for securing your web application, because it provides several critical benefits and the protection that help you to safeguard your application and data from a lot of various online threats. WAF can help to mitigate and prevent lot of data breaches in different scenarios by providing the protection against these web based attacks. So one thing should be clear, that is it is layer 7 solution because it is providing you web-based attack mitigation. Okay. So I use the term like data breach. So I hope you people are aware that in 2017, okay, there was a Equifax data breach which come into the picture, right? So in this, target exploited a vulnerability in the Apache system. Apache. Apache. So what is this? This is your application framework only, right? If a properly configured WAF would be there, it could have detected such a thing. It could have blocked this kind of attack by recognizing the malicious traffic pattern. Okay, and such vulnerability maybe get stopped if we have some of the WAF solution in place. Okay, there are plenty of WAF, let me tell you. So not only the Equifax, if you talk about Yahoo, right, the previous very big giant was Yahoo. In 2014, there was a data breach in the Yahoo also. Massive data breach that exposed the personal information of billion of users. Again, WAF could help detect and block the issues which happen in their SQL injection attack. So SQL injection can be blocked by the WAF also, right? Then even if I will take the name of LinkedIn, LinkedIn, LinkedIn. So LinkedIn in 2012, okay, there was a data breach. It suffered a breach where million of user passwords were exposed. Again, a WAF could have detected and blocked credential stuffing attack at that time. Sony Pictures, okay, Sony Pictures in 2014. There was some hacker which, you know, stole the sensitive data and released its publicity from the Sony Pictures network. And the attackers believed to be linked to the North Korea at that time. They were motivated by the picture which was there in the Sony Pictures network. Okay, so the picture name was The Interview when this rumors was coming. Then SolarWind cyber attacks. There was an attack in the SolarWind company in 2020, right, where a massive supply chain attack was compromised by the SolarWind Orient software, allowing the attacker to infiltrate numerous of even government agencies and the private companies. So such all the things, if you see in your day-to-day life, there are a lot of attacks which are happening. And when we are talking about F5 solution, so this is named as ASM, which is a previous name. Okay, newer name is Advanced WAF, but ASM stands for Advanced. Sorry, this is Application Security Manager, and the new name is Advanced WAF. So like you have some of the modules, LTM, GTM. Similarly, there is a module named as ASM. LTM is your F5ADC, okay, Application Data Controller. GTM is your Intelligent Resolution Solution, the DNS. Similarly, ASM is what? It is your Advanced WAF. The old name was your application. This is Application Firewall. Application Security Manager was the older name. So this solution was developed by a company named as FI Networks. You people already aware about it. This company is well known for its network and application delivery technologies, right? And FI ASM is designed to protect the web application. It means it is a layer 7 solution. So it protects the web application from a very wide range of security threats. It can be application layer attack, majorly, no, not can be, it is majorly all the application layer attack. What the application layer attack, when I am saying, what does that mean? What the mean of application layer attack? So if you are aware about the OSI layers, right? The 7 layers of the OSI. In the 7th layer, this is your application, right? Application layer. So all the attacks which are gonna happen on the OSI layer, layer 7. OSI model is the conceptual framework. I hope you people are aware, which standardize the function of your any network communication into 7 different layer, right? And the application layer is the top layer. So this application layer is the layer which is user, like where the user facing software or communication with the end user occurs. The lower layer is something which like your machine is taking care of. If you talk about layer 3, IP network is coming, layer 2, your MAC address is coming, layer 4, your different ports, either TCP, UDP ports are coming, right? So application layer attack focus on exploiting the vulnerabilities or the weakness in this layer to disrupt or compromise, or maybe you can say gain any unauthorized access to the web application or services. Okay. So like what can be the attack? The attack can be basis on HTTP or HTTPS, right? These attacks involving like if you are sending a very high volume of HTTP or HTTPS request to an application server, okay, to an application server, and you are overwhelming the traffic and causing it to very slow, okay, it is becoming very slow, or maybe it is becoming down, or maybe it can be unavailable to entertain the legitimate request. So bit like you can do the flooding attacks, HTTP flooding, HTTPS flooding, DOS attack, DDoS attack, brute force attack. Those all attacks are your flooding attacks, right? I will show you the lab today. Okay, I will show you the lab for the brute force attack today. Don't worry. In today's class only, I will show you how FIASM can recognize it and how FIASM can mitigate that. Okay, I will show you in a moment. But first, let me just talk more about it, what FIASM do and what kind of attacks are. Okay, very simple and very introductory class it is. So I hope you have heard about SQL, right? There is an attack, injection attack. This is the part of injection attack later on when I will talk about the OWAFs top 10 vulnerabilities. I will talk about the injection attack, and there is one more part which is named as SQL injection. It is nothing that what attacker do. Let us say this is an attacker. Okay, this attacker will inject some malicious SQL query, and through your web interface, this query will go to the database server, DB server, and the data can be exposed to the hacker. Okay, so very simple attack, SQL injection attack, right? Attempting to manipulate or extract the data from your application database. And this can again lead to your unauthorized access, data theft, or maybe data manipulation. A lot of things can be there. So SQL injection can be one part of your, this application traffic, if you will talk about. I hope you guys heard about the cross-site scripting. Although, as I am telling you, I am just touching this part. Okay, I'm not explaining a lot of things here, but later on when our OAuth top 10 will come, I will surely tell you all of these things, why and how these are working, and I will show each and every lab also. Cross-site scripting, XSS. This attack involving again injecting some malicious script. Earlier script was on the SQL script. This is not SQL script. This can be any, let us say the JavaScript. Okay. So again, a hacker, okay, a hacker injecting a malicious code. Okay, a script, maybe a JavaScript you can say. So when hacker is injecting a JavaScript into the web page, which is viewed by other legitimate users also, okay. So this can steal cookies of these users. This can steal maybe the session tokens. This can steal other some sensitive information from the good user. So earlier, the what I was explaining, that was stealing the information directly through the database. But this time we are attacking the potential customer, which can be, impersonate to such kind of, they can be a victim for this attacker. Okay. So cross-site scripting, such kind of attacks can happen. Doesn't matter if you are working on HTTP, that is uh, again very vulnerable. But even if you are on HTTPS, these attack can happen. All of these attack can happen. Either you say XSS, either you say SQL injection, either you say CSRF, either you say DOS, DDoS, either you say brute force. Okay, brute force. Either you say web scraping. Either you talk about maybe what bot, different of the bots. So bot protection also can provided by your F5. Lot of attacks are there, right? So it can be, as I'm telling, DOS, DDoS. It can be XML injection also. XML injection, like when your application is using XML-based web services, those vulnerabilities can also be exploited in your XML parsers. Okay. If you talk about the parameter tampering. So in my earlier demos also, these are, these videos are available on YouTube also. I showed you that, okay, if there is an application and this application is selling something, let us say this is a computer and the computer cost is, let us say 799 USD. Okay. From this hidden parameter, we can make the changes and we can change the cost of this to 1 USD only, let us say. Okay. But obviously there are some tools required for the same, but we will gonna talk about all these things into our class. How to secure our parameter tampering. We will be gonna talk about. When I am saying brute force, what does brute force means? Attempt by the attackers to guess the username and password, repeatedly trying different combination until they find a correct thing. Maybe they can write down a script, they can put some kind of, bots or anything they can do. So again, they are targeting which layer? Application layer. So let me tell you, web application firewall, when I am saying why application, I am talking again and again, because your web work on the application layer. Application layer attacks can be particularly challenging to defend against because they often exploit the behavior of your legitimate application traffic only, right? To protect against these attacks, application need to deploy some measures like your WAF. And when I am saying WAF, it's not only FI WAF which is available. Let me tell you, there is Imperva, okay, and lot of WAFs are available, but FI WAF is one of the leading one. Okay. Any doubts so far? Any question from anybody? Please speak. Vishal, Nazir, Mukesh, Janvi.
No, sir, nothing from my end.
Nothing? Okay, sure. Let me proceed then. Let me just talk more about it. Now, if I will talk about FIASM, overall, FIASM, you can say, is very critical component for providing comprehensive application security strategy. Or you can say it helps the organization to protect their web application from a wider range of threats, or we can say attacks, or we can say vulnerability. Okay. It can be deployed as a hardware appliance like your FIU-LTM you do. You can just apply the hardware. You can have some virtual appliance, like in our lab, we have the virtual appliance. Or you can use a cloud solution also. Cloud solution. So again, you are applying the virtual appliance only on the cloud, but yes, cloud-based solution can be also formed. Let me tell you, AWS also provide web services. Your Azure also provide web services, but those are not robust if we talk about F5 ASM. Even Palo Alto also inspect till layer 7. But again, when we are talking about F5 ASM, it is dedicatedly configured as such, or you can say manufactured as such, which can be doing a lot way before than they people are doing. So FIASM is often considered as advanced web solution because it offers a robust set of features and capabilities that enable an organization to protect their web application against these kind of attacks. I hope so far there should not be any doubt to anyone. If you have any doubt, you can please stop me. I am happy to answer. Now let's proceed. So when I am saying FIASM is doing this for different application, let us say this is your FIASM, and there are various applications are there. Let us say application 1, application 2, application 3. For these application, okay, which are connected with your web, you will create some of the virtual servers, right? Virtual server is the terminology for your LTM, right? Same terminology I am talking about. Let us say this virtual server is for application 1. This virtual server is for your application 2. This virtual server is for your application 3. Now, what you does is in the background, you apply some security. And that security is named as security policy. Okay. So you will create some security policy. Security policy 1 here, security policy 2 here, security policy 3 here. So FIASM, what apply? It applies security policy. Security policy is what? Maybe you can say security policy is nothing. This is set of rules, right? Set of rules, set of maybe you can say configuration, okay? And this set of settings also you can say, and it govern how FIASM device should protect your web application against these kind of attacks. So this security policy is really a very critical component of your FIASM functionality and is used to define how the web should inspect, how it should filter your traffic to ensure your application security. Got this point? So main thing is, if you can say it is bit like your route map. In your route map, you can provide, different of ACLs. If we just compare with your networking part or the Cisco part, it is bit like your route map where you can put a lot of, securities there. So in this security policy, you define different rules as I told. Okay, you can define what are the parameters of my application. Okay, all parameters you define here. You will define what are the URLs of my application. Again, these things you need to do per application basis, right? You need to apply something named as attack signatures. So first, maybe I am talking about parameters, URLs or attack signatures. I hope you guys are aware about parameters, right? If no, please tell me, I will talk about it.
No, sir.
Okay. So let me say, if you are going to, okay, where maybe, let me open Amazon. Okay. If I am going to the Amazon, see, it is asking for signing, right? When you are signing in, this is what? This is a parameter. And if I will just see what the parameter name is, I can able to see what the name is. Okay, name is email. Are you getting my point? So these are what? These are the parameter of your application. So in your application, there are thousands of parameters can be there. Now, how as an ASM team, I can know used in the application for the same, it is very valid question. You need to, so you as an ASM guy, let us say you are an ASM guy here. You need to interact with the whole application team. Okay. You need to talk with them. So this whole process I will describe later on when I will be doing in the, classes, right? But currently I am just letting you know that these all things, parameter, URLs, file types, right? File types, again, can be your PDF, can be your PNG, can be your text, can be any file type can be there. Okay, all those things, URLs. So if you will talk about URLs, maybe let me show you the URL. Okay, URL. Give me a minute. So let us say, let me open NetMinion only. Yeah? So this is my domain, netminion.net, right? If I am going to the courses, this is my URL, right? If I am going to the CCNP, this is my URL. Again, I am going to the CCNP, I am going into the CCNA, this is my URL. And in an application, web application, there can be again plenty of URLs that would be available. It depends how many URLs one application has. Application to application wise, it differs, right? And all these things should be come from application team. Give me a minute. Let me have a sip of water. Okay. So this thing I would be, explaining in detail during the class. But what I was saying is that you first thing is you need to create an application security policy. In application security policy, you need to define all these things. Maybe you can just say, what is my learning mode? You need to talk about what are the threshold of the anomaly detections, what are the content inspection, what is, maybe you need to define whole the positive security model. Again, if you are, new to this positive security model and the negative security model, that's perfectly fine. We will be going to touch these terms in our classes. It's not the agenda of today class. Okay. But let me show you something on the lab directly. Just maybe you can able to relate what I am teaching about. Okay. So let me jump to the lab directly. This lab, every one of you, because few of you are already, doing the course with NetMinion. So you people are aware, but the one who is new, for them, this lab is available through the cloud. Okay, which is 24/7 accessible. You can do the practice as per your timing. And this lab will be available to you. Everyone has the different port, which means if person A is using, he will be doing his configuration. If person B is using, she can do her own configuration. Their configuration will not mismatch one another. Okay. So it's not like that if person A is doing work, person B will have the same work. No, no. You need to complete your lab by yourself. So it would be a very good opportunity for you people to make your hand dirty for the new technology. You can do a lot of practice on the labs and you can perform a lot of attacks. So if you see, we have two application server for different application. One is DVWA, okay, and second is PHP auction website. Again, these websites are publicly available. You can also download. Okay, you can just use them. But again, this whole scenario is created for you guys. You can utilize this lab topology as and when required. There is a PC which will act as the management PC and act as the user. But the traffic flow will be, it will go to the DMG firewall. Through the DMG firewall, it will go to the advanced WAF, and advanced WAF will send this traffic back to the application servers. So if I will show you, if I will take the access of this, so you can see this is the PC. From this PC, I can take the access also because it's a management PC. I can take the access of my device. So this is my ASM module. You can see the security features are already there. Okay, why? Because it is an ASM module. Here, if you see the virtual servers, we have two virtual server available. One is for the PHP auction and one is for DVWA. Let me show you the PHP auction website. Okay. This is PHP auction website, and you can see there is a website where one login page is also there. Let me show you one thing now. I'm going to the security, application security. Okay. So this is your application security. You can create one application security by create button, and here you can set demo policy, right? Demo policy. You can give any name. Here you can just provide the type. You can give the virtual server. Okay. So I am not giving any of the virtual server. You can go in the advanced and you can give what is the learning mode, what is the enforcement mode, blah, blah, blah. There are a lot of things, right? Language, all of these things we will be going to talk later on, right? Later on, we will be going to talk about all these things. Don't worry. But currently, I am just maybe using some of the things. Okay. Give me a minute. PHP. Apache PHP. Where is Linux? MySQL. Linux. Okay. Rest all the things we will talk about in the class. So if you see here, I just create a security policy. Same way the security policy can be applied on your virtual server. Like if you see in the PHP virtual server, in the security field, you can see there should be some security policy. Policy 1 is there, let us say. Okay. Now, I am going to the login. I am just showing you the brute force. I am just saying ABC is the username. And I am putting, this is the fake, username. ABC. Again, I am using, some brute force I am trying to show you. See, what happened? When I did couple of the attacks, when I am just checking or randomly I am assigning couple of the username and password, right? What the brute force attack is? Brute force attack is nothing but brute force attack is the method of attempting to gain unauthorized access on the system or any of the application by trying all the possible combination of password until it is succeeded one. Okay. So I am just trying to do the same exhaustive approach, and I was putting some username and password randomly, right? You can see it gave me something named as support ID. This support ID is thrown by my ASM. Same thing I can check into the event logs. Again, you guys are not aware about these terms, but later on you will able to understand like what I am talking about event logs, what are these event logs and all of this stuff. So all these part we will be gonna talk later on in our class. Okay. But currently, as you see, we can check. Oh, why it's not showing? Brute force attack. You can see there is brute force attack. It is showing, right? It is showing you the login stress. Again, I will be going to talk about these terms later on in our classes. Do not get panic. But I am just trying to show you this page is sent by your F5 ASM. Whenever you see this support ID, it means F5 ASM is the one who is sending such kind of response. Any doubts so far? Okay.
No, sir.
Okay.
So that DMZ firewall, it's a switch or what? It's a
Right. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So now we will be running this batch from next weekend. Okay, you can say that today is the introductory class, and from next weekend we are just starting in. So timing, maybe Zoya can confirm you. Okay, it would be 2 hours each day. To like, if we are starting from 10 a.m., it will go till 12 p.m. Saturday and Sunday both day. 4 hours of class each weekend. Approximately 20 to 22 or plus minus, it will work. So total hours would be 20 hours or so. So it's a full-fledged course with the focus to how to secure your web application, how to provide the auditing thing, how we can mitigate all the vulnerabilities. We will put the attacks, we will mitigate those attacks. So that is how we are looking for. Yes. Any question? Please tell me. Otherwise, we are good to wrap it up.